Have you ever wondered why certain women leave such a deep impression on men, while others fade away almost instantly? It's not always about looks, money, or even status. In fact, some of the women who make the strongest impact are the ones you'd least expect. The secret lies in psychology, emotional triggers, and how you carry yourself in those small, almost invisible moments. Think about it. Have you ever had someone cross your mind out of nowhere, and suddenly you can't stop replaying memories with them? That's exactly what we're going to uncover today. The science and strategy behind why some women are unforgettable. And here's the truth. Men don't usually miss you because of what you give them. They miss you because of how you make them feel when you're not around. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create that exact emotional spark that lingers in his mind. You'll learn what makes him crave your presence, regret not paying more attention, and even second-guess his choices if he ever thought about letting you go. But here's the twist. This isn't about manipulation or pretending to be someone you're not. It's about stepping into your highest value as a woman, holding your ground, and naturally pulling him toward you. By the end of this video, you'll know how to shift the balance so that he is the one chasing you, replaying your conversations, and missing you like crazy, even if right now he seems a little distant. So let's dive in and reveal the truth behind why men miss some women and forget others. When we talk about why people miss someone, it's not just about attraction or affection. It goes much deeper into the human mind and emotions. Missing someone is often tied to the way our brains respond to absence. When a person we care about isn't around, our brain experiences a kind of emotional gap. That gap creates longing, and longing intensifies the memory of that person. This is why the less available you are, the more space you occupy in someone's thoughts. For men, this psychology works in a very specific way. Men are naturally wired to value challenge, pursuit, and a sense of achievement. If you're constantly available, always texting first, and always showing up the moment he calls, his brain doesn't get the chance to build anticipation. Anticipation is crucial because it creates dopamine, the feel-good chemical that keeps him excited and thinking about you when you're not there. Without anticipation, the excitement fades, and with it, the feeling of missing you. Here's the fascinating part. Men often confuse missing someone with needing space. When they step back, it's not always because they're losing interest. It's because they subconsciously want to test the bond. If in that space you panic, chase, or demand reassurance, it disrupts the psychology that makes him miss you. But if you remain calm, confident, and focused on your own life, the absence actually pulls him back in. He begins to associate you with mystery, unpredictability, and high value. Missing someone is also fueled by contrast. Think about it. People don't crave what feels ordinary. They crave what stands out. If your energy, presence, and vibe are unique compared to what he usually experiences, the moment you're gone, he feels the difference strongly. That difference is what sparks the thought of, why do I feel like I need her around me right now? So the psychology behind missing someone isn't about forcing emotions. It's about giving the brain the right conditions to create longing naturally. Men don't miss women who make themselves too easy to reach. They miss the women who know their worth, create space, and leave behind a lasting emotional imprint that no one else can replace. Creating emotional distance isn't about playing games or acting cold. It's about understanding how attraction really works. When someone has unlimited access to you, they subconsciously take that access for granted. The more available you are, the less exciting your presence feels. That's why the most powerful way to make a man miss you is by creating just the right amount of space. Not so much that he feels rejected, but enough that he notices your absence. One subtle strategy is to shift your communication pattern. If you're the one always starting the conversation, always replying instantly, or always available for a call, it creates predictability. Predictability feels safe, but it doesn't spark desire. Instead, give your responses a natural delay. Let him wonder what you're doing, who you're with, and why you aren't glued to your phone. That small shift immediately builds curiosity, and curiosity leads to missing you. Another strategy is to prioritize your life outside of him. A man should never feel like he's the center of your entire world. Invest more in your passions, friends, fitness, or career. When he sees that your life is full and exciting without him, he'll begin to feel a subtle gap. He'll realize that if he doesn't put in effort, he risks losing your attention to the other things that light you up. This isn't about pretending to be busy. It's about genuinely living a full life, which naturally pulls him toward you. Pulling back slightly in emotional conversations can also create a powerful effect. Instead of oversharing every detail of your day, or every feeling you have, keep a little mystery. Men miss what they don't fully understand. When you leave a little to the imagination, he'll find himself wanting to dig deeper, wanting to know more, and wanting to connect with you on a deeper level. Here's another subtle but effective move. Stop rewarding minimal effort. If he only texts late at night, or gives you one-word replies, don't jump into deep conversations in return. Match his energy, and sometimes withdraw slightly. Men quickly recognize when their bare minimum doesn't get the same reaction anymore. That recognition creates a sense of loss, and loss is the foundation of missing someone. And finally, the most powerful form of emotional distance is your energy. If your energy feels calm, self-assured, and unattached to his every move, he will feel it. Confidence is magnetic, because it shows him that you don't need him to validate you. When a man senses that, his natural instinct is to want to prove himself worthy of your time and attention. That instinct is what makes him crave your presence when you're not around. So remember, emotional distance isn't about punishing him or acting cold. It's about positioning yourself as someone valuable enough to be pursued. The right distance makes him step up, makes him wonder, and most importantly, makes him miss you like crazy. High-value women are unforgettable. Not because they try harder to impress men, but because they carry themselves with a presence that naturally demands respect and admiration. It's not about looks, status, or wealth. It's about how you move, think, and treat yourself. The truth is, when a man encounters a woman with high-value behaviors, she stands out in his mind long after she leaves. He may meet other women, but something about her energy lingers, and that's exactly what makes her unforgettable. One high-value behavior is having strong boundaries. A woman who knows where to draw the line and sticks to it is rare. When you say no to something that doesn't align with your standards, you send a powerful message. You value yourself more than temporary validation. That kind of self-respect leaves an impression that no physical attraction alone can achieve. Another behavior is emotional control. Instead of reacting with drama, anger, or neediness, high-value women respond with composure. Imagine this: a man pulls back, delays his text, or cancels a plan. Instead of blowing up his phone or demanding an explanation, the high-value woman adjusts gracefully, continues with her own life, and doesn't beg for attention. That calm confidence makes him rethink his actions and realize she's not like everyone else. Confidence in pursuing your own passions also sets you apart. A woman who is deeply engaged in her career, hobbies, or personal growth automatically becomes magnetic. Why? Because she radiates purpose. Men are drawn to women who have their own fire burning, who don't need someone else to complete them, but rather choose to share their life. That independence makes you memorable because it shows that your happiness doesn't depend on him. Another unforgettable behavior is authenticity. High-value women don't play fake roles to impress. They are unapologetically themselves. Whether it's their humor, their quirks, or their opinions, they show up with honesty. And because authenticity is so rare, it leaves a lasting mark. Men remember the women who are real with them, not the ones who try to mold themselves into what they think he wants. Grace under pressure is also a powerful trait. Life throws challenges, and relationships test patience. But the woman who handles difficulties with strength and composure leaves a lasting impression of maturity and reliability. Men don't forget women who can face challenges without falling apart or blaming others. Finally, a subtle but powerful behavior is selective attention. High-value women don't give everyone their energy. They are intentional about who they invest time into. When a man earns that attention, it feels special, because he knows it's not freely given to just anyone. That scarcity creates value, and value creates memorability. So remember this: unforgettable women are not the loudest in the room, the most available, or the ones trying the hardest. They are the ones who quietly hold their standards, carry themselves with grace, and know their worth. That's what makes a man think about you long after you've walked away. One of the biggest reasons men don't end up missing a woman isn't because she's not beautiful, smart, or interesting. It's because of small mistakes that quietly kill attraction and erase curiosity. And the hardest part, most women don't even realize they're doing these things until it's too late. If you want a man to miss you, you need to avoid the behaviors that push him away instead of pulling him closer. The first mistake is over-availability. When you're always there answering texts instantly, saying yes to every plan, and dropping everything just to be with him, you remove the mystery that makes him crave your presence. Missing someone requires space. If you never create that space, he never has the chance to wonder about you. Instead, he begins to see you as predictable, and predictability often leads to complacency. Another common mistake is emotional overinvestment too soon. Sharing your feelings, dreams, and vulnerability is important, but when you pour it all out early on, you create an imbalance. He hasn't earned that level of intimacy yet, so instead of valuing it, he feels overwhelmed. High-value women pace their emotional investment. When you give too much too quickly, you take away the gradual build-up that makes him miss you when you're not around. Then there's the mistake of chasing. Calling first, texting repeatedly, double texting when he doesn't reply, or trying to convince him of your worth. All of these actions flip the dynamic. Instead of him pursuing you, you're the one doing the chasing. And the moment a man feels like he doesn't need to put in effort, his desire fades. Missing someone only happens when there's a sense of pursuit, not when everything is handed over without effort. Another subtle but powerful mistake is seeking constant reassurance. When you're always asking, "Do you miss me? Do you love me? Do you still want me?" you place pressure on him that kills attraction. Instead of enjoying the moments you share, he starts associating your presence with emotional demands. This doesn't make him miss you, it makes him want distance. And let's not forget about negativity. Constant complaining, nagging, or focusing on what he's not doing right creates an environment he doesn't want to return to. Men miss the women who make them feel good, uplifted, and inspired. They don't miss stress, criticism, or emotional heaviness. The last major mistake is trying too hard to prove your worth. Whether it's showing off, bragging, or bending over backwards just to be chosen, this energy screams insecurity. True value doesn't need to be proven, it's naturally felt. When you try to prove yourself, you give away your power and make it easy for him to take you for granted. So remember, missing you isn't about how much you give. It's about the balance between presence and absence, connection and space. When you avoid these mistakes, you create the perfect conditions for him to realize your value and crave your presence when you're gone. Deep emotional longing isn't about quick tricks or surface-level tactics. It's about creating an experience that lingers in a man's heart long after you're gone. When a man feels true longing, it isn't just that he misses your voice or your presence. It's that he feels a kind of emptiness that only you can fill. And the key to triggering this longing lies in how you make him feel when he's with you, and more importantly, when he's not. The first way to trigger emotional longing is through contrast. If every moment with you feels ordinary or predictable, there's nothing for him to crave when you're apart. But if your presence feels uplifting, joyful, and emotionally rich, he'll naturally notice the difference when you're not around. Think of it like music. Silence only feels powerful when you've just been listening to a beautiful song. The same is true with you. When your presence lights him up, your absence will make him ache for more. Another powerful method is creating emotional anchors. These are moments, gestures, or even small quirks that only you bring into his life. Maybe it's the way you laugh, the way you challenge him to be better, or the way you listen so deeply that he feels understood. Those little anchors become triggers in his memory. Later, when he experiences something similar, his mind instantly goes back to you. That association creates an emotional pull that he can't easily shake off. Longing also grows from mystery. When you don't reveal everything about yourself all at once, you create space for his imagination to do the work. Let him wonder what you're thinking, what excites you, what dreams you're chasing. The unknown is magnetic. When he doesn't have full access to you, his mind fills in the blanks, and those blanks become the playground of longing. Equally important is the emotional safety you provide. A man may be surrounded by people, but very few make him feel truly seen and accepted. When you're the person he feels safe opening up to, without judgment, that bond becomes rare and precious. And when something feels rare, its absence is deeply felt. That absence turns into longing. But here's the subtle art. You don't force longing by constantly reminding him of your worth. You create longing by embodying your worth. You live fully, you maintain your independence, and you allow space in the connection. That space is where longing is born. If you rush in to fill every silence, every gap, every unanswered text, he never gets the chance to feel your absence. So the real secret is this: make the moments together unforgettable, then step back just enough to let those memories breathe. When he's replaying your laugh, your words, your energy in his mind, that's when longing takes root. And once it's planted, it grows stronger every time he realizes no one else makes him feel the way you do. If you really want to stay on a man's mind, you need to understand how the human brain works with memory, emotions, and desire. Men don't hold on to someone just because of constant reminders. They hold on because certain experiences with you light up their emotions in ways that stick. That's where a few simple but powerful psychological hacks come in. Techniques that can make you unforgettable without ever looking like you're trying too hard. One of the most effective hacks is the power of unpredictability. When your actions are slightly unexpected, his brain pays more attention. If you always text him at the same time, or always respond the same way, he falls into routine. But when you occasionally switch things up, maybe send a thoughtful voice note instead of a text, or disappear for a while because you're genuinely busy, his brain gets stimulated. Unpredictability creates curiosity, and curiosity keeps you in his thoughts. Another hack is emotional association. People remember not what you said, but how you made them feel. If you're consistently creating positive, uplifting, or even playful emotions when you're around him, his brain will start to link you with those feelings. Later, when he wants to feel that way again, guess who pops into his mind? You. This is why laughter, shared jokes, and fun moments are so powerful. They build emotional memory. There's also the principle of scarcity. We naturally value what isn't easy to get. If your time and energy feel abundant and freely given, he subconsciously assumes it's less valuable. But when you're selective about when and how you give him attention, he feels that it's special. That scarcity creates an urgency in his mind. He thinks about you more because he doesn't have unlimited access to you. Another subtle but highly effective hack is the use of unique cues. This could be a certain phrase you use, a scent he connects with you, or even a little ritual between the two of you. These cues act as memory triggers. For example, if you always sign off your texts in a playful or quirky way, every time he sees or hears something similar, it reminds him of you. These small personal touches create anchors in his mind, and don't underestimate the power of absence with intention. Instead of filling every silence with a message or call, let him sit with the quiet. That quiet forces his brain to reflect on you. The trick is not to vanish completely, but to allow just enough space that he notices the shift. When he feels that gap, his thoughts naturally drift back to you. Finally, one of the strongest hacks is growth and self-improvement. When he sees you leveling up, whether in your career, your looks, your confidence, or your lifestyle, his brain re-evaluates your value. People think about what impresses them, what challenges them, and what they aspire to have. If you're constantly evolving, he won't just remember you, he'll obsess over keeping up with you. So staying on his mind isn't about chasing or forcing attention. It's about creating memories, emotions, and triggers that make him crave your presence without you having to remind him. That's how you live rent-free in his thoughts. At the end of the day, making a man miss you is not just about strategies, psychology, or clever tactics. It's about balance. Desire is a powerful force in any relationship, but it should never come at the cost of your self-respect. Because the truth is, when you hold on to your self-worth, you don't just attract love, you attract the right kind of love. It's natural to want someone to think about you, crave you, and feel your absence. That longing can be exciting. But here's where many people go wrong. They focus so much on making the other person miss them, that they forget to focus on themselves. If your whole identity revolves around being desired, you'll constantly feel the need to prove your value. And the moment you're doing that, you've already given away your power. Balancing desire with self-respect means recognizing that you are the prize. Your presence in someone's life should feel like a privilege, not a guarantee. When you embody that mindset, men don't just miss you, they work harder to keep you, because they know that you're not clinging to them, you're choosing them. And being chosen by someone who values themselves is the most attractive force in the world. This balance also protects you. When you respect yourself enough to walk away from disrespect, games, or half-hearted effort, you send a message louder than any words could. You're saying, I deserve more, and I won't settle for less. That standard not only makes a man miss you, it makes him respect you. And respect is the foundation of any lasting relationship. Remember, you don't need to manipulate someone into wanting you. The most powerful thing you can do is to create a life so full, so purposeful, and so magnetic that he feels lucky just to be a part of it. When you have your own passions, your own joy, and your own peace, you'll never fear losing someone, because you'll know that you never lost yourself in the process. So yes, use the psychology, the strategies, the little hacks, but let them be tools, not crutches. Let them enhance what you already know to be true, that you are valuable, that you are worthy, and that the right man will not only miss you, he'll cherish you. When you balance desire with self-respect, you stop chasing love and start attracting it. You stop wondering if you're enough and start realizing that the right person will see your worth without you having to prove it. That's when relationships stop being a struggle and start becoming the partnership you truly deserve. At the end of everything we've covered today, the real question is this: how do you become the woman a man can't forget? Not just for a few days, not just for a season, but in a way that lingers in his heart and mind no matter where life takes him. The answer is simpler than most people realize. It's not about being the prettiest woman in the room, or the most available, or the one who gives the most. It's about being unforgettable because of the energy you carry and the standard you set for yourself. A man doesn't forget the woman who made him feel alive. He doesn't forget the one who sparked his curiosity, challenged him to grow, and yet still made him feel deeply accepted for who he was. He doesn't forget the woman who carried herself with grace, who had a life of her own, and who never begged for his love, but inspired it. That combination is rare, and rare is always remembered. Becoming unforgettable means owning your uniqueness. You don't have to imitate someone else, play a role, or pretend to be what you think he wants. In fact, that's the fastest way to be forgotten. What he remembers is authenticity. The real you, unapologetically expressed. Your laugh, your quirks, your confidence, your kindness. That's what sets you apart from every other woman he's ever met. It also means never abandoning your self-respect. A woman who refuses to lower her standards commands respect long after she's gone. Even if things don't work out, even if he doesn't say it out loud, he remembers the woman who knew her worth and demanded more from life. That memory leaves a mark he can't erase, because it forces him to measure himself against the standard she lived by. But here's the deeper truth. Becoming unforgettable isn't just about him, it's about you. When you step into your highest self, when you cultivate a life that's rich, purposeful and fulfilling, you naturally become magnetic. You don't have to chase or convince anyone. People are drawn to you because you radiate confidence, self-love, and strength. That's the kind of energy that lingers. That's the kind of energy that makes someone realize long after you've walked away that no one else compares. So, as we close this journey together, remember this: don't just aim to be the woman he misses. Aim to be the woman he respects, the woman he admires, and the woman he can't forget because she was unforgettable on her own terms. Live your life with passion, hold your boundaries with pride, and bring your authentic self to every connection. That's the woman who isn't just remembered, she's cherished.